The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Hello, this is JRE Review. Today we will be reviewing Bill Ottman, the founder of Minds, an open source and decentralized social network focused on civil dialogue and internet freedom. All right, here we go.
Well, hello, Bill.
Hey, man.
Good to see you, buddy.
Good
What's
to
going
see you.
on?
We're here, man.
You are here.
Everything's going wild.
How was your site going?
It's going. We're decentralizing as fast as possible, getting it out of our hands so that we need to protect ourselves from ourselves.
How do you do that? Tell everybody it's maps. Minds, rather. Sorry.
Minds.com. M-I-N-D-S.
I just had Rick Doblin
Rick,
on.
no,
I have
yeah.
psychedelics on the brain.
I sense kinship with maps. Yeah.
Yeah, Minds and maps, the two of them should go together perfectly.
We probably should work
seamlessly.
together. Yeah. So basically, there's protocols and there's platforms. So, Twitter, Minds, other social networks, these are platforms. They're kind of built in the traditional social media style, which is on servers that are, live in huge cloud centers.
Right.
But there's also protocols. The one that we're working with now is called Nostr, which stands for Notes and Other Stuff Transmitted by Relay. So there's no company owns this protocol. The founder is anonymous, sort of similar to Bitcoin. And what it is it's all about crypto key pairs and signing stuff. So with Nostr, this is all happening in the background on Minds. Every user has a cryptographic key pair, which you can download in your settings. You're the only one who gets the private key. That's your identity. Your content, your followers, all that is tied to your identity. So when you post something, when you follow somebody, that is creating a signature on this decentralized network of relay nodes. So we run a relay. Thousands of other people run relays. Snowden's on Nostr now. It's like getting serious endorsement. And it's because it doesn't have a company, because companies are choke points that can, we saw what happened with Napster, for instance.
What happened with Napster?
Napster just got rocked by the music industry and they basically died. I mean, they still sort of exist, but they pretty much got taken down because there was that entity to go after.
I see.
I actually checked out Minds and it was pretty mindful. Some smart stuff on there, but it wasn't boring. There was some funny stuff as well. All right, with this next clip, don't get freaked out too much. Well, maybe. Take a listen.
That's one of the weirder things about what's happening with the internet is that essentially as time goes on, it becomes more and more difficult to control what's just ones and zeros. Like as they're out there, the bottlenecks between people and information, they're getting broader. It's getting more and more difficult to stop things. And I think as time goes on, it'll be impossible. I don't think there'll be any stop. I think in the future, like anything, I have a feeling that we'll have zero privacy in the future. I have a feeling that all of this encryption and all this stuff, I think it's all going to be invalid once quantum computing is ubiquitous. I just have a feeling that there's no way you can stop information when technology moves past where it is now to some place where basically anybody could get access to anything at any time. And then the problem becomes, how do you control money when that happens? Because money in a lot of it is just ones and zeros. And the only thing that stops you from being able to steal it or transfer it is encryption. When you don't have any more encryption and anyone kind of has access to anything that's online.
So yeah, I hear you. It does seem like over time technology is working against privacy, and
yes,
it's
that's
evolving.
That's a better way to put it.
So,
yeah.
But encryption hasn't been broke. Some encryption has been broken, but encryption is still good. It still works, and as quantum computing advances, encryption protocols will advance too. So it's a race. and there are people trying to break it. But I heard the other day you were mentioning the whole thing with Signal and Tucker.
Yeah.
And so, to clarify that, so based on my understanding, Signal has not been compromised. The Pegasus program that you were referring to does have the ability to hack people and get into their device. But once you get into someone's it's actually easier to get into someone's machine or phone than it is to hack the encryption protocol. So if you can get into someone's phone, then you probably can get into their
I think
messages.
that's what they did.
So that's different. That's different than Signal being irrelevant.
Right. It's not that Signal's irrelevant, but it's just that the government right now has the ability to get into things no matter what. According to Gavin DeBecker, who's a securities expert, he said all they need is your phone number. Mm-hmm. Signal 1 Pegasus 1 was you needed a link. So someone would have to, that's the whole Jeff Bezos story. Someone sent him a link on WhatsApp. He clicked on that link, bang, all of a sudden they have access to his phone.
Right. And you have to be super sophisticated to lock yourself down to avoid that. Like, I'm sure that there are people I know there are people who are probably less victim to something like Pegasus. But
sure. Probably less victim. But I mean, I guess with a guy like Jeff Bezos, he probably has someone scan his phone all the time. But I wonder if they could even detect Pegasus at this point.
Yeah.
And if we know about Pegasus, too, how do we know if there's a Pegasus 3? Like, whatever sort of workarounds they've found, I'm sure we're not going to be privy to it until it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, the layers of surveillance kind of keep zooming out. Mm-hmm. And, I think this whole intelligence world is getting out of control.
I may be speaking for a friend, but a lot of millennials must regret sending nudes, especially after this. Oof. All right, back to them talking about the Twitter files. Here we go.
I'd imagine they could do I imagine they could just get all the access to anyone who's in any room. Just zoom in on that room, know where all the phone numbers are, and just bam.
Yeah, but the paradox of having all these back doors is that it makes everybody less safe. It makes all of the government people less safe to have these back doors. I mean,
right.
in some of the Twitter files, we found that these chat rooms that they had were using Signal.
Yeah.
The government uses Signal very heavily.
Yeah.
And the Twitter rooms where they had people from the social media industry and they use that. So to advocate for backdoors into encryption is just like self-mutilation. It's bizarre.
Thank you so much for watching. I will be posting every day, sometimes twice per day, and I hope you enjoy my content. I hope you enjoy the JRE experience, and I hope you watch the full thing. All right, we're going to end with a bonus clip and end it on a positive note. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, and comment. Bye.
You've got artificial intelligence. We have what we know is the state of human intelligence. We then have what is speculated to be potential non-human intelligences.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this Arrow office that just came out?
No.
So Arrow, All Domain Anomaly Research Office, that in the NDAA recently, there's all these UFO pieces of language. Mm-hmm. And Christopher Mellon, who you've had on, is kind of really knowledgeable about this. I learned a lot of this from him. And anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is I think that intelligence and like secret information, like as it transcends through the corporate world and the government world, like it's all kind of interconnected and like the same types of models are used. So, but anyway, Arrow is the NDAA that recently passed now gives all these whistleblower protections to people to come forward, which is an absolute game changer. And Arrow is this new office that's like decently funded, I think like $11 million a year or something like that. And they're doing an audit, basically, of the government on these issues. And I think that it correlates to surveillance to me, at least in a in speculation, because like, what is this system? Like,
right.
If they're here, which I don't know, but that is surveillance. And, it's just all compartmentalized and we don't know what's going on. So that's why it's great that this office exists.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day.